welcome to the Broner versus DeMarco conference call. I would now like to turn the conference call over to our host, Kelly Swanson. Kelly, please go ahead.
Thanks, everybody, for calling in today. We are actually live in Atlantic City. Both fighters are already here, as well as the heavyweight. So we have a great show this Saturday night. It's going to be action-packed. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Oscar De La Hoya, president of Golden Boy Promotions.
We are announced Adrien Broner versus Antonio DeMarco, which will be for the WBC lightweight world title. And as you know, the co-main event is Seth Mitchell versus Jonathan Banks. And also, at this moment, I would like to introduce to you the co-promoter of this event. He always does a wonderful job with all his fighters and promoting his boxing events. That is Gary Schott to introduce Antonio DeMarco.
Thank you, Oscar. It's going to be a great event. Antonio DeMarco is a wonderful champion. I believe that he's the Mexican version of Toro Caddy, who's a fixture in Atlantic City. So I think it's only befitting that he come here and defend his world title against a very fine fighter in Adrien Broner. It shows I'm glad Oscar decided to keep the fight here in Atlantic City. As a resident of New Jersey, I'm proud that we're here to help New Jersey rebound and show how strong New Jersey is. So, without further ado, I'd like to introduce my fighter. Seymour Zivic is on the phone. I will translate for Antonio, but I'd like to introduce the 135-pound WBC world champion, Antonio DeMarco.
Okay, Antonio, puedes hablar con ellos.
Hola, hola. Buen día a todos. Un placer y un gusto estar con ustedes.
Hello, everybody. He's very happy and proud to be on the line with everybody. All right, thank you very much. And at this moment, I would like to introduce to you the unbeaten and widely charismatic, incredibly talented, and at just 23 years old, he's only getting better as every fight goes on. You know, he's one of the hardest working fighters in the sport today. He's also known, to brush his hair after every victory and wrapping into the ring himself. He's already won a world championship title at 130 pounds, knocking out Vicente Martinez-Rodriguez in 3 rounds in November to win the WBO title. And thus far, he's defended his bout with a technical knockout over Eloy Perez and Vicente Escobedo in 2012. And now, the Cincinnati Phenom looks to close out an exciting year this Saturday night when he will introduce his improved speed and power, and dynamic style to the lightweight division against the hard-hitting and good fighter Antonio DeMarco. With a record of 24-0 with 20 knockouts from Cincinnati, Ohio, Adrien the Problem Broner.
Hey, what's going on? I'm very excited to fight in Atlantic City. I train very hard. Well, I want to thank DeMarco and his team for taking the fight and coming over here to the U.S. to fight me. And it's going to be an electrifying fight. I know he's a great champion. I know he's ready. I'm ready, and I'm just ready to put on a great show.
We would like to open up the call for questions to the wonderful media. Thank you.
Okay, and our first question is coming from Lem Satterfield from RingTV.com.
Hey, how you guys doing? Hey, Adrien, how you doing?
What's up?
Hey, Adrien, as you know, I think I told you this. I talked to Aaron Pryor about you, and this week is the 30th anniversary of his most defining fight against Alexis Arguello. And a lot of people are saying that this, because of his style and your style, could be a defining fight for you. Do you see this fight as kind of being a defining fight for you?
It's definitely a defiant fight for me. Not only a defiant fight, it's a fight that can cross me over into another world that a lot of boxers can't go to. A lot of people is like, this is my biggest test, and of course it is. I'm going up in weight. In my first fight at lightweight, I'm fighting the best guy out there, and that's Antonio DeMarco. So I'm ready. I know what I'm going up against.
The other thing that Aaron said is that it's important to him that you are a part of the legacy that is Cincinnati's legacy, as a child yourself. How important to you is local legacy, and how important to you is your legacy overall?
It's very important. It always start local. If you don't have a big name in your hometown, how do you expect to have a big name anywhere else? So it's definitely important. But for me, I'm worldwide with it. I'm trying to go global, man. I'm trying to find out if somebody in Venus know me.
The thing he also said that, I don't know if you probably heard this a million times, he really tried to, Aaron did try to get the attention of the bigger fights, Thomas Hearns, Sugar Ray Leonard, even going on to a podium and kind of interrupting a press conference with Sugar Ray Leonard. And in a way he expressed the fact that you are able to talk your way into, publicity, but you back it up. How important is it to hear that from somebody like him, to get that kind of support? I once heard real recognize real, and I guess he's a real guy, and he recognized what I'm doing is real, and I'm just being myself. A lot of people criticize me and say whatever, but I'm just being myself. I guess the last question I have for you is, you are going to be, as Oscar said, going to the Boys and Girls Club this afternoon. What do you hope, obviously, with your background and what they've gone through, what do you hope to accomplish there in terms of inspiring them and also maybe inspiring yourself in the fight?
I just want to put smiles on people's faces, man. I just want to make somebody's day better. If I can brighten somebody's day by just showing up and helping out and help clean up, then I'll do it. I'll do it every day if I could.
Thanks a lot, Adrien. I have a couple questions for Antonio. Hey, guys. Gary, I know you and I talked about, his ability and how much the Edwin Valero fight really kind of prepared him for the last two fights that the last few fights that he's been in. And you talked about his accuracy of his punches and his punch selection. I actually thought, that he punches more like Alexis Arguello in that he is very calculated. He places his punches well. Can you ask him to comment on his mentality, in a fight? He's actually been outperformed in terms of punch output in some of his biggest fights, but he really places his punches well and seems to be patient in breaking down his opponent.
Primero que nada, muchas gracias por estar aquí con todos ustedes. Wants to say thanks again for being here. Es una pelea difícil, una pelea dura, pero que sin duda el ganador de esta pelea lo va a llevar a otro nivel. He's saying that he knows it's a tough fight and an important fight. Sigue, Antonio. Venimos bien preparados porque sabemos que Broner tiene un gran talento, es un gran peleador y venimos muy bien preparados para dar una buena pelea, como siempre lo he dicho, dar una buena pelea, que Dios nos bendiga a los dos y que gane el mejor. He's very well prepared because he knows Adrien is a great talent and a great fighter. He's extremely prepared, and all he says is that thanking God that it will be a great fight and the best man will come out of it victorious.
And our next question is coming from Dan Rafael from ESPN.
Would you ask Antonio in relation to his last fight? He stopped Molina so quickly, only I believe 44 seconds.
Right.
Was it at all on his mind going into that fight? Because there had been a lot of discussion that if he came out of that fight without any problems, if he won, no cuts or bumps and bruises and that sort of thing, that this in fact would be his next fight. One of the bigger fights that he could make in the lightweight division. Was that at all on his mind in the Molina fight? And what was his reaction to not only having no problems coming out of the fight, but to just being able to get rid of Molina so quickly and so easily?
Right. I think if you look at the tape, you saw his reaction. He just about jumped out of the ring. But I'll ask him your question there.
That wasn't on his mind going into the fight.
No. Dile que en realidad no. Dile que soy un peleador y una persona muy respetuosa. Respeto mucho a mi rival y a este hermoso deporte.
He said he didn't have anything like that on his mind. He's just a respectable person, and he respects any opponent, anybody he gets in the ring with. So he wasn't thinking past it.
Hey, Adrien, back to what I was going to ask you about this fight. You're moving up in weight, like you said, going for another world title. And I asked him if he thought that you were his best opponent. And how do you view Antonio in terms of the various opponents you have faced? You fought some good opponents, be it Ponce de Leon, even Escobedo. Where do you view him, knowing what you know about him?
He's definitely my best opponent so far on paper. I know it's the biggest fight of my career thus far. I'm not looking past nobody. In this game, you got to take it fight at a time. So that's what I'm gonna do. And after this victory, we're gonna go to the drawing board. But right now, we're just focused, and I'm ready. I'm just ready to show my talent, because I think this would be a fight I will be able to show a lot more of my skills. In some of my last fights, my opponents, even though they were ranked number one, or at the time, they got downgraded because of my skill level was so high. But this time, hopefully, I'll get the credit, and if I don't, oh well.
Do you look at Antonio as being a guy who, although talented, good, he's won a world title, he's beaten some good opponents, but to me it seems like he has something that's a little bit of an intangible, and that's the heart and the desire. I was there when he was fighting Linares. He was being beaten very, very easily, but he never stopped thinking he could win, and you saw what happened. He got the knockout late in that fight. And so I would suspect that if he's in a similar trouble against Adrien Broner, you're going to still have to think there's a danger there until the bell rings to end the fight or you stop him. I mean, is that your mentality with him, knowing that this is not a guy that will ever give in and quit?
Well, you got to think, man. In boxing, a knockout is only a punch away. So it don't matter. It don't matter what round the fight is in. Like I said, a knockout is only a punch away. So of course you always got to be careful. But at the same time, he was fighting. He was fighting good guys, but he wasn't fighting Adrien Broner. Guys was doing the wrong things where they could have been doing different things at that time. You're gonna see a total different Adrien Broner on Saturday night.